Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Catco, and I'm here to play Doom's multiplayer in 2017 and to kind of develop my impressions and to show you guys where this game's at today. And this is something that I've wanted to do for games for a little while, which is to go into multiplayer games like Doom's that maybe people aren't talking about now, to give an update on where it's at, how it is, how it's changed, if it's any good, if people are even playing the thing, so the people who are maybe considering buying this game or considering jumping in to check out the multiplayer can kind of get a heads up and a look in to see what they've got going on. So this is the main page of Doom, and I should say Doom was an awesome game in the single player. Its campaign was perhaps shockingly great, and I loved it. I played it around release, but I didn't really put any time into the multiplayer. I'd played the beta like many people, and the beta did not get received well, and I didn't hate it like everyone else, but I didn't, feel a lot of reasons to come to the Doom multiplayer afterwards. I didn't feel drawn to it, but a lot of people absolutely hated it, and it really tanked the public perception of Doom, and I was surprised how well it recovered, and it wouldn't have probably if the campaign hadn't been so good. Luckily it was. So we're gonna go into multiplayer, and I played, maybe 3 hours in the last 7 days of this game to kind of develop some impressions and see where it's at. And I'll play more or less on games depending on kind of what they are and how much they need. I didn't feel like Doom really needed that much more time for me to develop opinions and impressions, and I could potentially play a little more after this and make a more formal video, which is what my original plan was, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and make this impressions video, and I think this might be a cool way to accompany like a where is it now video, which would discuss more just the changes in the game rather than my own personal opinions on it. So this is going to be kind of that. You're going to see me play some of the game, hear me talk about it. So this is the main screen for Doom, like I mentioned, and the reason I'm starting here instead of in the multiplayer screen is because I want you guys to check something out. You got to click into the multiplayer, right? If you want to play campaign, you click that. Multiplayer, click that. Snap back, you click snap map. We're going in multiplayer. So the game disappeared. The client goes away and relaunches another multiplayer client, and we'll see how long that takes for me. We have a GTX 1060 graphics card here, an i5 3570K processor, Western Digital Black 2TB hard drive running, and it I'd say that's not super low specs, right? Like, I've got to at least fit into the middle for computer specs, and it takes me, I think, way too long to be able to get into the multiplayer portion of Doom. I played so many games where you just click multiplayer if you want to play it. The way that this launches, and the bass is super loud right now, I'm sorry if that is overwhelming my voice, but just, I don't know, we're just waiting here together, right, to see how long it takes for me to get to play multiplayer. And we're waiting, and the music's cutting out, so fun. Computer's working, trying to load Doom. 69%, the funniest percent. Yeah. Oh, come on, we're close now. We're getting there. Load a little bit more. Check it out. Okay, so we're still not there. Checking online privileges. Connecting. And okay, so now we're in the multiplayer screen. What I think should be a one-click and almost instant thing, and what would be like that for most games, brings us to that kind of wait. And that is one of the reasons that I've played only 3 hours over the last week, is because I just never feel like booting this game up and then rebooting it up and then loading all of that to get into the multiplayer. And that is really frustrating to me. It just really makes me not want to play it, and I did not have that same issue with the campaign all the times that I played that, and I'll play that again, but it really pulls me out of multiplayer. So I'm going to drop the audio just a tad here. Hopefully that will help us out so that you can hear a little more of me and a little less of the other stuff, but announcer volume can be up. He's not that common, right? Okay, so let's look at what we got here so that you guys can kind of get a rundown, and we'll show you kind of what's going on right now with Doom. I won't go too far into like the loadouts and stuff like that, because that's stuff that's always existed and people probably already know about that if they've looked into the game. But here's some DLC. So they've been releasing DLC for Doom, and it's probably been in the place that people didn't want it, which has been the competitive multiplayer. There's 3 packs that you can get within a season pass. And you guys can't see what I'm looking at right now, but it's 40 bucks for the 3 map packs, and I'm trying to see if I can get yeah, so the DLC is, it looks like you can play the Doom DLC maps even if you don't have DLC. So yeah, somebody in the game has to own the DLC to allow you to play it, and it's got mixed reviews on Steam. I don't really know why, but that's there. So I'm not exactly sure what you get out of buying it. I guess you just get the always option to vote on playing that map. So from my understanding, if you are in a game and somebody owns the DLC maps, then there's a chance that you guys could vote and play one of those DLC maps. So you got loadouts, and I've unlocked 4 of the 5 of them. You can put in the guns you want. You can kind of customize the guns, and I think that's kind of cool. Like, being able to add your own dumb colors. For me to have these purple and yellow guns is nice and stupid in a way that I can appreciate. I always enjoy something that's nice and dumb. So, you know, cool for me, I guess. Do this. So, you got hack modules, which I don't care about. They're like, you know, respawn things. Respawn buffs you can get. You can customize your character, which is another really stupid thing that I like. You know, I actually enjoy that. There's customizing weapons. So, you got all that going for you. And when you go to find a match, you'll find very few options. You'll find a team play playlist, which has all these modes in it. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 modes within this thing. And some of them are, like, you got Team Deathmatch and Domination. Cool. Soul Harvest and Warpath. I don't know what some of these are, but they probably are more typical. Something like Freeze Tag is maybe a little more atypical if you haven't played, like, old Quake and stuff. You got a free-for-all playlist, which is only 3 modes. From what I understand, Doom did not release with this, which I thought was crazy. They didn't have like a free-for-all in a beta, and I don't think it released with any free-for-all modes, and I think that's what you kind of lean on with these kinds of games, is that deathmatch. I don't want to come to this game to play this weird Halo team-based thing where you need to stick around your team, and where if you're alone, then you might get caught in like a 1v2, 1v3 situation against the red team or blue team, or whichever team you're fighting. So for me, the free-for-all thing makes a lot more sense. But apparently the community in this game must have died out pretty quick for them to have condensed all their playlists, all their modes into these 2 playlists. And to further aggravate that, when they condensed them, these were the only 2 things they had, I think. Because they're one of their more recent updates adds Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch playlists, which means that if you wanted to play a TDM or just a free-for-all, you had to hope you get it through one of these 2 playlists, which is, I think, pretty unacceptable, because these are the 2 playlists that you keep, right? You condense the other weird things, keep these 2, because these are the 2 that people play, and usually in games I tend to enjoy a lot of objective-based stuff. This game is going to be a lot of Fragfest stuff, you'd think, so it makes sense to me that I'd want these 2 things to be separate. So that sounds like a bad move on their part to have taken it out. It sounds like a really bad move to me to not even have the free-for-all stuff. That brings us into a potential layering issue with this game, and let me click Deathmatch, because that's what I want to play, right? Play some Deathmatch, and we're connecting, and look, we actually found a game pretty quickly. In my time playing this, I've had trouble with every mode except for Team Deathmatch with finding games. And I think I played it pretty reasonable hours, played, you know, early evening, into the night, like 9-10 all Eastern time. So I don't think that's a very weird time. But luckily right now we just jumped right in, and it is about like 5:30 Eastern Standard right now. And so we're in, and that's one of the things that I wanted to check, was just to see if anybody was still playing this game. And it turns out, yeah, there are some people playing this game. Not a ton, but enough that if you bought it, you could pretty confidently get to play it. Maybe not the mode that you dreamed of, but at least something. And so now we'll kind of jump in here, and I'll play some multiplayer for you, and then afterwards I might do some more discussion. Maybe I'll record myself playing and it not be a live playthrough, so that I can add my own commentary to it. It's kind of hard to talk and play one of these games. Let me see how far in we are. Yeah, so we're kind of far into this game, it looks like. So I mean, it is what you would expect from a very general standpoint, which is kind of the frag fest. You've got health pickups and armor pickups and ammo pickups laying around the map, so that's cool. One thing that people really were upset about was this whole loadout system. So you can just spawn with rocket launcher and plasma rifle or vortex rifle and super shotgun, really whatever you want. You can just have it when you start. And one of the real key things about these old multiplayer games like Quake, which I think is really what people were hoping they'd get back to with this, is that you go around and you pick up weapons. You don't go for like the COD loadout thing. It's a big point of the gameplay and a big part of the tactics for you to have to go around and like know the weapon spawns and protect those spawns, so that you can have the powerful weapons when they launch, and then use those and combine that with skill to really turn the tide of a game or really secure a game. And so that's something that this game kind of takes away. You just spawn with the gun you want, and a relatively weak rocket launcher, you know, compared to a game like that. It's not a super power weapon, but it's still my favorite weapon. And to some people, that might sound fine. That didn't like make me think, oh yeah, I hate this game, because I don't know, I guess I don't have that much of an attachment to that kind of gameplay. I'd like to see more games like that, but you know, just because they made this choice to have loadouts didn't make me say, oh yeah, Doom's gonna suck. But I mean, it does keep it from feeling like as much of a throwback. It's a throwback in some ways, and it plays like some of those older games which I've played, like some of the Quakes, and I guess I've not played a lot of old stuff, but I played Unreal Tournament, and it feels closer to those things than other games in 2016 and even before that. For the most part, I'd say just the style is there, but it's also kind of like meeting in the middle with like a Halo and a I don't know, I don't want to say anything other than Halo. I feel like that's kind of what it matches. It kind of Halo Space Marine, but you know, adds some speed. It doesn't, I don't think it moves like insanely fast, this game. When I think of Quake, I think of something going real quick, like really working at a high clip. And this one, it's fast compared to like a Siege or even Battlefield or something, but it's not fast like those games. And so it's kind of a weird, it's not as slow as Halo by far, it's faster than that, but it's kind of a weird meet in the middle kind of thing. You've got pickups around instead of rechargeable health and shields, but at the same time your loadouts are very secure, and even Halo would have like a powerful guns laying around the battlefield that you can pick up. So I don't know. And playing in a free-for-all mode, I think, gets you closer to what you wanted out of Doom than playing in a team mode, which we'll go to here in a bit to show off. But it's somehow, to me, in all of that, everything that I was just talking about, this game loses its own identity, and I don't, it's kind of an intangible thing for me to just point out. Let me kill this guy and then I'll tell you. So it's kind of a hard thing for me to point out exactly what it is, but there's something about Doom on the multiplayer that just doesn't own its own personality. Like, within everything that makes Doom really special and unique, and I'm talking about the new game, which I thought was really special and really unique, in the way that it brought Doom back, but progressed the modern first-person shooter in the way that it brought those old things into something very fresh and new. I thought that multiplayer, since I've been playing it, really lacks that. It takes old things and new things, but doesn't push them forward into 2016 and 2017 in the way that I'd hope. It instead just kind of throws them together into something that's just very generic. And not one part of it seems that bad to me. Like, I'm not upset about anything, I'm not angry about anything. Plays well, plays smooth. I'd say it's even fun. Like, I enjoy my time to an extent, but it's just, there's nothing about it that makes me say, yeah, I definitely got to play another game of that. There's definitely nothing that brings me back that makes me, when I'm gone, say, I want to play some more Doom multiplayer. And we're going to return to the lobby here. So, and that's kind of my overall impression, is it's fun, and I enjoy it. But that's it. Like, that's as far as I go. Like, I'm not having an unpleasant time when I play it, but I'd pretty much rather play anything else. And after I get off of this game, I don't think it again. I don't think of it anymore. And so let's show off some, I guess, team deathmatch, because that might be where you're more likely to play if you get this game, because that's where I found people so far. And you know, now that I say that, we immediately found a game before, and now we're finding a very small group of very high level players, and oh, they're gone. So I might normally have quit out of that, but if that's kind of what you're faced with playing this game in 2017, then that is what you'll have to deal with. I'm a level 10, and I was seeing level 50s, which I think is the highest level you can get in this game. I guess we talked about the maps. The maps are fine. Again, I've had no problems with any of them, really, but I can't think of one of them that really stood out to me as like, yeah, that's a really good map, and a map that I want to go back to. I just don't care, and that's kind of where I am with this whole thing. It's not a game that I will probably never launch the multiplayer again after I finish up with any YouTube stuff I'm doing with it. If I make a more formal "where is it now" video, then that's one thing, but I don't even know for sure if I'll do that with this one, because I don't know if people care. And here you're getting a shot of me having trouble finding a game, which is, I think, one of the fears when you get a game like Doom. Not sure if it's dead, so we're gonna hang around here for another minute and see if we just hop into one that's populated. So now it's actually put me in my own lobby, and it's trying to pull players into mine. See if that works out. There's one. He's a max level. I'm not sure if he's one of the guys we were with before.
What you selling?
And he's talking to me. So I don't plan on responding. I don't actually know the push to talk button.
Welcome.
And we're still not finding anybody else. And he dropped us. So this isn't a problem I've had in this playlist before, but it's a problem I've had in others. So we'll drop this, return to the lobby, go to find match, we'll try free-for-all playlist. This is the one that I'd probably have wanted to go to instantly, so I can get some variety in what I'm doing, but also have that free-for-all mentality and just, you know, shoot a lot of people and blow them up. And we'll see if we can find anyone here. And, you know, so far no dice. It looks like there's not instantly a game open that we could join. The way that I've been matchmaked, it seems really unlikely that it's doing anything with skill, because, you know, I've just been thrown in with the highest of levels. And I don't know how it's working regionally. I haven't had any, like, regional options to set up, so like it's just, ooh, that guy's got cool crap on him. Whoa, he's only level, oh, maybe that little eye beside his number means he's like prestiged or whatever they call it in this one. So we're not finding anybody here. A lot of people seem to just quit out immediately if they join the lobby with one person like me. So we'll drop this one and we'll check the team playlist. And let me check the time to be sure, so you know when I'm playing. Hey, we got somebody. Yeah, so it's actually 5:13 on a Thursday. That's Eastern Standard Time. So this is not peak hours for Doom. Maybe you know, later this evening would be, but it's a time when I can conveniently play a little bit and make some YouTube stuff, and so. And I'd say that this has generally been pretty close to my experience with what I've played of this and when I played it more common times, because I really had a problem. I didn't get. This is the first time I'm going to play one of these two condensed playlists, because I haven't been able to find a game, and I played Free For All before, but I had more trouble finding that, and I'd been able to find Team Deathmatch before, so it all kind of switched around to be about the same experience to me. So I don't even know what we're getting into right now with Clan Arena, and Clan Arena sounds like some kind of battle arena.
5, 4, 3,
and here's another map. I don't even know if I played it before. They all kind of have this Mars stuff. Okay, so 1 life, and that, you know, that doesn't sound very interesting to me. I guess I should have stuck with my team here, because this is going to be more strategic, right? So, like, I think it's cool that they have different modes like this in a game, and I will not knock Doom for having Clan Arena in its game. But here's the thing: I know of plenty of. Oh, it's just me and that guy. Alright, I'll focus and help my teammate win here. If I can. Friends hiding from us. I wonder if we win just by having more players on our team.
One minute remaining.
Oh. Behind us, buddy. Oh, we're getting low.
Your team has been eliminated.
Okay, so I lost. That guy had 2 health left. Anyway,
Round 2.
Doom is not the game that I'm coming to for this mode, right? Like, if I wanted to play a game where I was going to try really hard to play like a strategic thing, and there's only, you know, no respawns and stuff, there's a lot of other games that I'd go to way before I came to Doom. And even more than that, the reason I come to Doom is not that. I want to kill a lot of people, not just a few, and I want to respawn and I want to frag them more. And like I said, I won't knock this game for having this mode, because if you got really into Doom, you might want to play something like this sometimes, right? Like, having more playlists in a game is cool. But this game doesn't have more playlists. It has this playlist, which is the one that throws all the modes together, which means that if I want to play some of the other modes, team modes, where I get to kill more people or do a lot more shooting, then I have to run the risk of playing this one, and that somehow frustrates me, and I don't like it. And so I guess that, to me, in my mind, isn't a positive. Like, I would want to have, if anything, one more playlist that's like, yo, this is the one with modes like this, which you'd have to play differently because you don't want to die once, kind of thing. But they don't have that, and so that's you. That's, I guess, the beauty of this. That might not bother you, that this is, you know, all thrown together like this. If that's fine, if you are happy with the variety, then that's cool. But if you're going to be new to Doom, you probably don't need that variety yet. You probably just kind of want to play the game at its best. So it's good that they brought Team Deathmatch and Free For All out of these things. If they had left them in the condensed playlist, then that would have been really unfortunate, because then you'd be stuck with this stuff. But yeah, this to me is not what I'm looking for. And, you know, looking over here at the scoreboard for this, it doesn't look like a short little thing. Like a short little thing I'm going to deal with. It looks like this is going to be potentially very long. Got up to 9 rounds here. So, yeah, this is, you know, this is real. I'm in this, and I'm stuck in this if I want to play the team playlist. I'm playing this Clan Arena thing right now, and it's just not what I want. And so, yeah, let's just back out of this, because, you know, whatever. And so I guess that's me. That's kind of all I have to say about this. It's fine. It works. You can find games somewhere. I can't guarantee that you're gonna find game in a playlist that you want immediately. You might have to do some waiting if you want to play free-for-all play or something like that, but to me there's just nothing here. I don't know what all they've added. I don't know how those new maps are, or if even I played one of the new maps I wouldn't recognize it if I did. But there's nothing very unique about it that's drawing me in. It's got like its play as a demon thing, which I guess we didn't get to see in this video, but that's kind of cool, but still it just doesn't do it for me. And that's kind of the point. Like, if I wanted to play a game like this, there's better ones on either side. I could play Quake Live, which is quite good. I could play the Unreal Tournament Alpha, which I think is somehow more individual and cooler to me than this. I could play all sorts of other multiplayer shooters for the other stuff, and yeah, that's kind of just where I land on this game. So I hope I kind of covered some stuff here, and again, I might make something more formal later, but this is where I'm at with Doom 2017 after playing it for a few hours on the multiplayer side. Don't plan to do this more for joy. Hopefully some of the games that I make this kind of video for, I will discover something that I really like. And again, I don't dislike this. I don't want to say that. Like, there's nothing here that makes me want to come back specifically. So thanks for watching. If you want to leave a comment with any suggestions or things that you liked or things you'd like me to change, then I'll happily take that kind of criticism and move forward and try to improve the content that I'm releasing. If you want to check out any of my other stuff, that'd be really cool. But you don't have to, obviously. So thanks for checking out this video, and I hope to catch you next time.